There's your battery switch, generator switch. This is your starter switch. It has a manual primer right there, so I'm going to have to actually manually prime it. I just want to show you something on the shoulder harnesses. There's a little thing on the left side of the seat here that when this little lever right here is up, I move forward and the shoulder harnesses are basically in the locked position. Now so right now I can't move forward, but if I push this lever down, all of a sudden now I can lean forward, I can get to the primer, you know, I can operate the oil cooler door and anything else I need. It's actually got a parking brake right here, and to operate the parking brake, what you do is you push the pedals down hard, you pull the parking brake out, while you're holding the handle out, you let the pedals go. So the parking brake is set, and then as you can read on the rudder pedal down there, to release the parking brake, you depress both pedals, the handle clicks, it goes back in, and now I can roll. Battery switch, generator switch, starter, I said manual primer. The radios, these are all old radios from World War II and stuff, so we don't use any of that. They're just for show. And we got the altimeter, airspeed, compass, your suction gauge for your vacuum instruments up here for your artificial horizon, your directional gyro, turn and slip indicator, have a rate of climb indicator. That's your tachometer for the engine RPM. Cylinder head temp, we're going to be looking for 100 degrees cylinder head temp and 40 degrees on the oil temp before we do a run-up. So here's your engine gauge, your oil temperature, your oil pressure, and your fuel pressure. And once the engine starts, the first thing I look for is the oil pressure, because without that, you want to shut the engine down immediately. Otherwise, without oil, it's going to seize up at some point. So this is your manifold pressure. So that's kind of your power. We got high pressure today, so we're just a little over 30 inches of manifold pressure, or barometric pressure. And this has a little bit of a supercharger, so you can actually push the throttle up, and 35, 36 inches is what we use for takeoff. And this doesn't have a stop or a governor on the throttle. So you got to be very careful to look at this on takeoff, because you can actually, if you push the throttle all the way forward, it would go over that, and it would be too much power for the engine, and you're not supposed to do that. So puts too much pressure on the cylinders, you might have a failure. Just a couple of other nifty things here. It's got some cool air over here. See, I can rotate that with my foot, so we'll get a little bit of cool air. And then if we wanted heat, it would be over here. I don't need heat in Florida today, so that's it. Okay, so what we're going to do is, I got some brakes, the chocks are out. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the battery. Okay, I got power, just saw that, it's an electrical instrument. Generator's always on. I'm going to go ahead and wobble up some fuel pressure. Fuel pressure's coming up. Wobbling it up. Going to get some fuel in the primer, so I pull it out. I can kind of hear the fuel squirting a little bit. That's one little squirt. It's a little bit cool today, so we'll see if that works. And on the T-6, I generally leave the primer out with a little bit of a fuel in it, because for some reason the engine wants to quit or something on starting. I've got a load of fuel in there to keep it going. Okay, so the throttle's cracked. Got the fuel set, and we're ready to start. And once the engine starts turning, then I'm going to go ahead and turn the mags on, and then we'll just see what the engine wants to do. Here we go. Clear prop. Mags are hot. Mixture's rich. Well, didn't want to go. Okay, I want some more fuel. Okay, it's cracked. Mags are off. Here we go. Clear prop. It's hot. There we go. Mixture's ready. Primer if I need it. Got oil pressure. The engine's bogging down a little bit because I've got the port 70 degrees on the oil temp, 100 degrees on the cylinder head temp. Check the controls. Over there, and the wind's blowing this way, so I'm going to take off this way. If I can taxi at 1,000 RPM, I'll start taxiing because I got a ways to go, and we'll let the airplane warm up. It's actually steerable right now as long as I've got the stick back. If I got the stick back, I push right rudder, I can steer to the right. I push left rudder, I can steer to the left. Now if I want to spin around on the ramp, I actually have to push the stick forward and unlock the tail wheel. Let me do a turn here. Is actually biodegradable.